challenges on. We told you we gotta get home way. So you can get a cut of me. That's right. Let's go. They gon' say you change when you never. Sometimes when you on the grind, you leave all things behind and do what bosses do. You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses. Told me if I want to win, I had to pass the law. Drop the floss, put my head down, start working. Cause it's like that, you live without that, sir. Before they close the green by straight, I'ma do it all. You like it on the wall, I was calling ball. So I'm all in, and that ain't just talking. I feel the power of the Lord when he walks in. Call them, and that's what he called me. Gave me some words, take it to the block like a house. So free, deliver so I can walk in purpose. Not guilty, what's the verdict? Cause the Jesus work. I surface from the depths of the darkness. I'm in the land that the lost in the heart. Please party, yep, Jesus made a way for me. And my hustle for the king, it ain't about money. They gon' say you change when you never. Sometimes when you on the grind, you leave all things behind and do what bosses do. You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses. Let's go, yes, I can rock. I'm in love with the gun, finally been pro. Original passion got me so bad. I'm in the car with the king doing the hood gas. Flashing lights, major heights, through these flash fights. I took some hits, didn't quit, alright. Small sight without a vision, yeah, we all perish. I had to learn the way of Christ before I could declare it. Now I share it every Sunday, praise in the park. West Oakland in the dark, see restored hearts. See how the North Sparks revival with a spirit witness with the word. All in your section, no protection, yeah, we raw, but it's straight true. Real gospel, not the law, Jesus come through. Make the deal, what he do, all the time, trust it. Miss your mind, steady grind, yeah, keep hustling.
Yeah.
Okay. We got new music. I'm here for it. I don't know what that was, but I rock with it. That works.
That was the good Pastor Larry again.
Oh, okay. Gave us a little different vibe. I'm here for it. Pastor Larry. Switch it up on us for the one time. All right. So
you said that was the pastor again?
You said what?
That was the pastor.
That was the pastor, your pastor again, yo.
Pastor. He took over the game for me. I meet him.
Okay. You know, youth Sunday is lit at Pastor Larry's church. You know it is lit.
Like for real.
Oh my goodness. All right, so it is Tuesday. It is 8:04, and you know why we are here. I missed y'all last week. I'm hoping that tonight, so far, so good. We have no tech difficulties, and your girl gets to stay through the whole show, okay? Like, all the fingers crossed. We got a new moon tonight and everything, so y'all know, I keep my chakras balanced and my crystals charged, so I'm hoping today is a good day for the show. Right. We got to get it balanced. Yes, all of that. So send some vibes up for the Wi-Fi on this fine Tuesday evening. All right, so if you are new here to the Scoop Radio Show, first of all, welcome. And if you have not figured it out by now, you are about to have a good time. See, I want us to be able to run ads. I was about to say something else, but we're going to say a good time. I am Keela Willis, one of three wonderful co-hosts, and I'm going to give you the lay of the land for the Scoop Radio Show this evening. We've got a new little setup, so we got some news for you this evening. We're going to it's going to be a little different than our normal flow of things. So we ask that you stay in tune, you stay engaged, and you comment along with us because we are chopping it up about all things news on today. We got politics, we got music, we got love, we got NBA. We in this thing, okay? So I'm sure the win is going to hit us with a poll at some time throughout the show. So when you see in your little comment box, you'll see a new icon that will pop up. If you are watching the Scoop Radio Show live stream, you will see a change in your icon. When that icon shows up, go ahead and click that. It looks like a bar graph. Click that little button, and there you will see our question, and you will be given the option to vote on your choice on the poll. Again, to see that change in your icon, you will need to be following, commenting, sharing the Scoop Radio Show live thread. Okay, that is where we can see your comments, and you can share your comments live with the people, which we want you to do. But please share this live. That is the main thing. We want you to share this live so that your people know that you are kicking it with the Scoop Radio Show tonight. I think that's it. So now you know who I am. I am Keela Willis, and I want to go ahead and say what's up to the rest of the queue, to the crew. Kels, how you doing, sis? Chiquita,
Well,
ponytail.
right. This Fire Tuesday. You know, I thought I'd give y'all something a little special for tonight. You know, y'all know Tuesday is my favorite day, so I said let's do a little updo.
To the side, up and to the side.
Yeah.
I see you, girl. Okay. Listen, before we move, let's deal with this now. You and this white party. What was you doing?
Oh, the white party was nice.
I said, Kel's in here with this wife at the white party trying to catch. You were trying to get chose at the white party, huh?
I was casted.
Reel them in, sis. Reel them in with the custom curry.
Yeah, I need to help reeling them in, but I'm casting it out there. I'm gonna give me a better reel and a better pole, and next time give me a bass or something.
We need a new lake, because honey, all of your equipment was on point, honey. We just need a different lake. That's all. We're gonna fish somewhere else. That's all.
Little ponds and stuff. Cast my
Tipping and dabbling.
Yeah, shout out.
All right. So
The white
how you doing?
I'm
What
good.
was that?
Yeah, we good. We good over here. Excited for tonight's show. Like I said, we're gonna do a little different tonight. So I'm really excited for that. Of course, I'm excited for everybody's comments. This hot topic is about to be interesting. It's gonna be real hot. Excited about that. Like we getting close to 200 comments on that one on my page right now. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So I'm excited about everything. We got Sass and Sage tonight. I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'm ready to get it in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a good one. So let's go ahead and get started with the first round of that good old news. What you got?
How you doing? You doing all right?
I'm good. I am good. I am goofy and giggly. It's been, y'all, if you follow me, y'all know your girls had a rough couple days. I don't know if it's the moon or what, but it's been hard out here for a pimp. So today I'm feeling more like myself. I'm back to me, and I'm giggly and grinny. So we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to have a good time.
All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and jump into this news then and get this started. So up first tonight, we're going to deal with last week's Democratic National Convention debate. So this particular article is referring to, if you saw the debate, you saw that at one point there was a very heated exchange between Joe Biden and Vice President Biden and Senator Kamala Harris. And so for me, and including myself, most people, we feel like Kamala won she won the debate, primarily on this part that this article talks about. But the article actually is saying that it's titled "Her Ambition Got It Wrong About Joe Harris's face." She's facing backlash. So the article says that Kamala Harris might be reveling in her sudden burst of attention after roasting Joe Biden over racial issues on the debate stage last week, but a backlash is already brewing. Biden supporters who have attended the former vice president's events in the days after the first nationally televised debate are describing Harris's assault on Biden as an all-too calculated overreach after she knocked him on his heels in a grilling, overbussing, and his remarks on segregation to the senators. He says, or excuse me, one of Biden's supporters says she played lowball, which was out of character, and he didn't expect it, nor did I. Another Biden supporter who attended his remarks at Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Bush Coalition said that she should not have gone that route. She's much too intelligent. She's been able to be successful thus far. Why do you have to do that? So it goes on to talk about how this is also that, one of the things that has been floated is a Biden-Harris ticket, and how after this, they don't think that actually the quote says after this week that the honey iced tea ain't happening. So let's talk about this particular one, and everybody, please put your comments in. We want to hear what you have to think about first that particular exchange, and then secondly what you thought about the debate, both debates over those 2 days overall. Kels, what did you think about that exchange, first of all, between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden?
Just to be totally transparent and honest, like, it made me look at Kamala in a different light.
A good light or a bad light?
More good than bad. Because okay. I've been going back and forth with her because I really didn't know her, so I didn't want to be biased because of all of the negativity people were saying. Because again, I feel like I need to ride for me first. So whoever looks like me, that's who I need to research first. So I've kind of been lightweight just following her, wanting her to be it. So this just made her seem a little bit more human, but I can't say that it made me just think she's the next, best thing. But I mean, it had truth to it, whether it was a truth to her or not. Her words had truth to the people she's supposed to be speaking up for.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Q, what you think?
As I watched it, I looked over at James and says, "Ha, checkmate." Like I said to him in that moment, he wasn't ready. I was like, no, he wasn't. Like we had a little laugh about it because if you read body language, it was all over him that he wasn't ready for that. And I've even read or seen articles. Yeah, I've seen some articles. No, it wasn't. I saw a clip. I think it might have been on Meet the Press or something like that this past week, where they were saying that Biden was taken aback by people coming for him directly because he expected the 20-something of them to look at him as Uncle Joe and be all one big kumbaya family and think of him, they supposed to be dapping it up on the stage. And that was a clear indicator that's how he came at that, thinking that because they all kind of had the same plan that they were supposed to be on the same page. Nah, bro, this is a competition. This is Sparta. It's not right
now. Like 20 of y'all, somebody has to do. They had to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the runner right now. So I don't know why they didn't prep him. Like you had to know it was coming for you, man.
Yep.
But
knowing she's got a lot coming, and I'll say this, and then I'm a hush. She has the flip of this will be though when Biden's people do their research and play to what has already been brewing amongst what should be her base, and they come for that. I'm hoping homegirl is ready for that because the people who don't know about what the black folks been talking about, they're getting ready to know. And all some folks need is one more hook to latch on to be like, no, never mind for her, and on to the next will be. So I'm really hoping they're prepared for that other side of that.
Yeah, that's when I saw it. I was surprised he did not respond with that because when she first came out, that was the first. During her first week of announcing she was running as a candidate, that was one of the first things that came out. And a lot of black people thought, I'm not fooling with her because of what she did when she was Attorney General in California. So I am really surprised that they were not prepared for her to, for her to say that. I mean, again, he's the front runner.
Yeah,
that's my. He was the front runner by a large lead.
Yeah. Do you think he underestimated her because of all of that when she first came out?
I don't know, but he looked seriously. He looked at her like he looked at her like he wanted to call her out the name. Like
I think he underestimated her end game. There is an assumption that he's going to be the president and she will be the VP. She does not desire the VP spot. She wants to be president. And when you come out the gate, I think she's got more to prove as a Black woman running. To say I'm going to come out the gate running as second is like, why are you here, sis? Like the women in the world right now are like, we're not coming for second, we're coming for first. So she had to come out and prove that point. So I think he underestimated her end game right now.
I agree. We have a comment. Let me read this comment because it speaks to that. Let's see. Ms. Jones says, I think that the two of them can reconcile this. She was not out of order to challenge him. I agree. It was necessary even. I agree. However, the thing is that she put herself in a position to have to be challenged on the same level of her decisions. Yeah, exactly. Will she be ready? I hope so. That's exactly what we said. I completely agree with that because I don't know if she is ready. So the whole Biden-Harris ticket, in my opinion, was supposed to be the ticket that, people still love Joe because of his ties to Obama. And he became cool to Black people and to minorities then. And she was supposed to get another portion of the Black population and her record as DA has already ostracized her from a good portion of our community. So then to now, like whether he wants to admit it or not, and I think he knows this because he used it, a part of why we like Joe is because of Obama. Mm-hmm. So you can't, she almost, I won't say she doesn't have when she did that, she put herself in a position where now she has to reconcile this. They have to play nice at some point if they want to, but I don't know. But he was
like Obama trying to ride arrest too.
Yeah. He wanted to call out a name. I don't care what nobody said. Look, and speaking of looks that could kill, Mayor Pete looked like he wanted to throw some hands when I forgot what that man, what he said when he told him that he said something to him, and Mayor Pete looked at him like,
"Is this what we doing?"
Just stared at him too, like good, like. I'm like, Mayor Pete looked like he was ready to throw some hands.
Yeah,
and I thought he was about to go down up there. I thought it was gonna happen, and I was very, like I said, it was a lot of people up there. So, what other thoughts did y'all have about the debate? I got a bunch.
What's the young man, the young senator that's running? I think he's a senator.
The one that needed to go sit down that kept saying, "Pass the torch."
Yeah.
Pass the torch, man, needs to go somewhere.
He made me remember him, but that was some funny stuff. 20 years later, you need to pass the torch, Biden.
Marianne Williamson got on my nerves. And y'all know I am team warm and fuzzy. But she took me over the edge and slammed me into the ground one too many times with the love. And I'm going to connect to the people. And her calling him out, "You, Mr. President, I'm going to meet you with love." Girl, boo, sit down, sis. Like, no. Like, stop. We are running to be president. Like, you call it kumbaya after you have won the race. You bring this. I'm sick of her already. Go somewhere and write another book.
She said,
and
"I'm going to my first act as president will be to call the president of New Zealand and tell." I'm like, what?
Right. Where is this the pause for the motivational speaker?
This lady has got to be high. Like, is she high? Like, what is she talking about?
Interrupting.
Okay. Yeah, it was. It was. But so here's my next question, and I love it. So Cardinal says they're gonna be on the ticket together. We're gonna find out. They very well might be. I don't think it would be a bad ticket this go around.
It's a year from now. So yeah, it could. It's a lot that could happen.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily disagree with that. So what did you all? My question is, I wonder, from what you heard, did you hear anything as a Black person, as a Black man, a Black woman, as a Black community? Did we hear anything that made us say, I like this person, I might have to look at this person? Did you hear anything that made you think this is somebody who might be good for us?
No, I didn't.
Not directly.
Mm-mm. And they shucked and jived around the one direct question that was asked by Rachel Maddow. What could you do? How are you going to go for that vote? And some people took issue with that specific question, but I'm thinking that's what we've been asking them to ask. Ask that question, answer that question, and how you going to do it. And they all skirted it. Not one of them, even the people that I thought were going to be like slam dunk it, these are my people, I got you. Nobody came through and just like owned the Black vote. They even went to the Spanish vote, you know, the Latino vote, and spoke to that more. And I'm all for the brown brothers and sisters, but like we had Spanish speaking during the debates, which, okay, cool, I'm also here for it. But when we have a direct question speaking to the base, the demographic that you say wins elections, why do you not have an answer prepared for that? Especially when Ms. Kamala's talking about, I asked the one Black woman on the panel, I want to say something, and then didn't say nothing. I said, really? Like, you got all your little applause and your pause, and you said nothing to fill in that space. I was not happy.
I think she thought what she said was doing that.
It wasn't.
I know.
I agree.
And that is what, you know, she thought she said. But I wanted to read one comment before we move on from my watch party. Deborah says, "Ooh, she talking about the senator we were just talking about. She worked my last nerve, but I like when Biden said get Trump out of office. Period." She said, "I fell out."
Yeah.
Look, like, okay. At the end of the day, Trump.
Yeah, he got to go.
Like, I don't care who at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I respected that. I thought that was good. I mean, that was a good, like, we're still the Democratic Party moment.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I felt like this debate was about coming for him because he's in the lead, and he lost ground. Kamala gained ground. I thought Cory Booker kind of, you know, I mean, I think he kind of status quo. Yeah, he had his moment, but it was pretty status quo. It was just, to me, and Democrat, Republican, this election comes down to how well are you going to address my issues. And they talked about they've been talking about the student loan thing. They've been, you know, they really didn't get into that a lot. They addressed healthcare, which a good majority of it was.
Yeah, a lot of that first debate.
So I don't know. I will say this. The one other thing that I thought was pretty interesting was Andrew Yang. I thought he was pretty interesting. His whole $1,000 check thing every month for every American, I thought was an interesting idea. I don't think it's going to work and it'll never pass. However, I thought at least it's a solution that's different. And so I would be interested to hear more of what he had to say. But
it didn't seem like he talked.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting too. It didn't seem like he talked very much.
Because there's too many of them. It's too many. We were too busy listening to the Kumbaya from Williamson to give folks who might have had a plan something to talk about. Like every question she got a chance to answer, I was irritated with and wish they would have snatched her time back and be like, never mind. How about you right here? Like as soon as it's like 30 seconds, if you ain't talking about nothing next, like we're moving on to the 10. They only got 15 seconds. So after 10, if we dozing off, next person, let's move on. Yeah. There's too many people on that stage. They should have like lightning round type elimination. you make it, if you don't make it through the first 2 commercial breaks, you off the stage. Next, it should dwindle. By the end of the debate, we should have 4 or 5 folks left and they make it to the next one. That's how I'm rolling. It's too many people saying the same thing.
If you drop truth about her issues, don't want to hear it by the end. This is true. Nobody wanted to hear her by the end. I'm just gonna be honest. And Cardi says, my biggest fear is the candidates fighting each other and turning young voters off, and Trump will get back. That's definitely a possibility. Again, I think it's early, and I think young people want to hear solutions, and not a whole bunch of just back
get Trump out.
And so I think, as the field gets smaller, I think we'll get more into some more detailed solutions, because again, and ultimately we know they can say what they want, what their solution is all day. However, we still need Congress to pass too. So, all right, that's what we got in the news. We're gonna take a break and get to our first song. Come back. So of course the news is brought to you. I completely skipped this part, so let me. The news is brought to you by the 2019 Level Up Conference. You guys, we have Saturday. Right, Saturday is the last day to register for the conference. A 2-day conference, where we're going to teach you how to level up and teach you how to be better in every area of your life. So we've got some of the best trainers coming from across the country that are going to help you. Running a special right now, $59 for the conference. You have until Saturday in order to register. Saturday to register for the conference, and then registration is closed. So if you have more questions, go to the website at levelupchicago.com. Amen. All right. So this first song, we got 3 new songs tonight by 3 new artists, or by 3 artists, not 3 new artists. So this first one is called IB. Y'all gonna like this. This has got a cooler vibe to it. This is by, Lord, I'm about to say a name wrong. I'm sorry. That's what I was. Okay, I can't do all these. We're good. But it's called IB. Y'all enjoy this. We'll be right back after this with Hot Topic. Can't do it, sorry.
This thing on. La 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 la. I be that 20-30 flow, bopping around the house. House slippers on while baby is on the couch. I be that 20-80 flow, bouncing around the city. Hands fit laid, flexing and looking pretty. I be. Be what you need in a breeze. Chill side queen, see giving you what you need. I be cocoa butter drizzled on your neck. Skeleton key ready whenever you need you an escape. Stay you hungry, I be eggs and syrup up on your crepes. I be both your lunch and dinner date. Alarming when you need a wake. I be your arm shooting you from harm. Letterwise, I be your cue if you just be my R. Rescue me and thank you. Round of applause, babe. I be your stick up, and you surely deserve it all. I be focused on your focal, go local. I be your head or a magic potion if you ever need to disappear. Not for nothing, babe. I be your nocturnal fill in the blank. For anything attempting to ever keep you from great, I be the play into your mate. Check, I be your checkers and spade. Anybody detected to be a hater, I be that 20-30 flow, bopping around the house. House slippers on while baby is on the couch. I be that 20-80 flow, bouncing around the city. Hands fit laid, flexing and looking pretty. I be. I be the shifting of the culture, quote, everyone's chosen. Reddit headline, you read it, focus on dopeness. I be unapologetically why there's an abundance of young leaders who respect and they fly. The world need us, so I'm happy to be bridging the gap while highlighting how STEM self matures into rap. It's exciting. I be running across the sky, breaking down barriers in a blink of an eye. I like you so bumper dry. You willing to chase the lens and see something more poignant than money and fleeting trends. Oh, forgot to mention I be a true reflection of Eve before the apple with added introspection, not judging, just nudging a bit. Yep, trust something's coming from it. Since famous the game, and we all pushing and shoving for it. They say the struggle's real. Wonder why fake is the muzzle on it. I guess I be the answer to questions. Stop running from it. I be that 20-30 flow, bopping around the house. House slippers on while baby is on the couch. I be that 20-80 flow, bouncing around the city. Hands sitting laid, flexing and looking pretty. I be.
All right. Is it Tonya Houston? Houston, I like that. That's a good ride song right there. Yeah.
That's a good get ready. Have your little drink, Garrett.
Right.
She said house slippers on, baby on the couch. I said, hey. I like that.
That was a thank you, Panda. That was a smooth little ride right on into the hot topic. I know we need to breathe first before we, tackle the hot topic. And we have a good one tonight, so I'm ready to get into it. I want you guys to remember that the hot topic is brought to you by Curvy Kitten Clothing, where self-reflection is perfection. Also remember that Curvy Kitten is more than a clothing line. It's a movement to realize that loving all of our curves, no matter what size, is the foundation for loving each other. So this post for Hot Topic came from Mr. James Hemsley, one of our active members, and hopefully you can see the graphic, but it's the background is the son is 15 and the couple in this scenario have been dating for a year now. So it says, "Bae, our date night is canceled. My son called and said the lights are off and his mom needed $300 more. Answer as my girlfriend." So, woo! Was in the scoop and all the Reggie Page one, Mr. Winfrey, and people are still commenting on it right now. Like I keep getting notifications about this
as we speak.
We speak. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with some comments from the scoop, and then we'll try to get over to the live page. Let's see. Sean answer first says, "What does that have to do with our plans?" Q was next. It said she will be irritated, but I will let her go into that when she answered. Let's see. Well, another lady says, Bishop Rashonda says, "Your son's mother needs to get her life together. Priority straight and an emergency savings nest egg. All grown people should have that." And when did she pay that DBO last for her to need $300 more? So we can see both sides of it. I'm gonna go to Q first.
Shot. So my answer on the post was okay. I would be irritated though. So I would tell, and so all words matter to me, especially when we're doing meme conversations. So I took the word girlfriend into account, which set the tone for how I went about this particular post. Okay. As a girlfriend, I don't have a whole lot to say about this. There's not a space for me to say anything about this as a girlfriend. However, I date, and I talk about this. If I were to be dating again, I would be dating for long term, and they've already been married for a year. So if we're dating a year, and this happens, I'm already invested in you. I know your son. I know somewhat of the situation, and I expect this to be somewhat under control to the point where it does not affect how we do our day to day. Okay. So the fact that she needs $300 more irked me on a woman level. But I mean, it happens. So I'm not going to act like there's no struggle and it's not real. I get that. But it was not even about him being there for his son or any of that some of the folks tried to make it about. This seems like the beginning of a pattern of behavior to me. Whereas you are going to be Captain Save-'em still on behalf of the child. For the fact that the son is calling saying the lights are off, he know the deets about mama need $300 more and this, that, and the third thing is where I went into that. Why does the 15-year-old son know that much information to be calling daddy to speak into that to make this conversation even a thing? That is kind of what the red flag, the irritation level would be for me, because now here we are. Because what father? I'm a mother. What parent is going to be like, oh, I'm still going to go out and kick it tonight. Y'all handle that. Like, and what kind of person would I be to expect that to happen? So for me, this would just be an indicator of the potential of more things to come. And it would make me side eye after the fact. I'm not going to show out. I'm going to go about my evening, but I'm going to note that and be paying close attention to future interactions, because that's an indicator of the control you have over that situation and how much control it would have into our life. So.
Yeah. And
that's
the next few actually women that commented, a lot of them said they would be irritated or they would even be gone. Like they wouldn't even deal with the situation like that.
Yeah.
So for the win,
I saw that too.
As a guy, I mean, how would you expect for your girlfriend to answer?
How would I expect?
Yeah.
Well, I asked the question, first of all, again, I understand they've been dating for a year, but my question was, how much information and detail are you having with your girlfriend about your bills? Or, you know what I mean? Like, because he could have simply just said, hey, I can't go out tonight. I ain't got no money. And left it. And, again, now, unless they're at that place in their relationship, then, I mean, now if that's where they are and that's how they operate, that's cool. How would I expect her to respond? If this was a one-time thing, I would expect her to, I can see either saying, go ahead and handle your business, or saying, go get your son. Yes, we're living together, bring him here, or, get your son, come to your house and let her. Either one of those to me would be acceptable.
And I'm gonna come back because you asked a question. I'll come back to you. So I wanted to read one comment I thought was a little on the other side of the fence. Miss Sylvia says, our date is not canceled. Pay the bill if you want, but our evening is still on. To me, I just thought that was interesting because I was thinking with that answer, and I could have asked her to go into more detail. Does that mean that you're paying for the date, or does that mean, or was that more of kind of a jokey joke, like, I don't care what's going on in your life, we still gonna do what we have planned to do. So I thought that could be taken either way. Let's see. Miss Candace says, no problem. Let's go get snow cones and chill at the park. I thought that was pretty neat too, to not only, make him feel like it's not a big deal, but also have a solution. We always talk about that. We go around on these memes and these conversations, but do we ever come up with solutions for our arguments that we're having? My quick response would probably be somewhat, I don't know. I'm sure I would be okay with him helping, especially if the child was the one that called.
In 2019, Kels?
I'm just thinking about if it was me right now.
Right, that's like.
Thinking about the last person I was in a serious relationship with. I remember there was an incident of there was a $400 incident one time that was similar to this. And it really wasn't a big deal, but at that time we both were making pretty good money. Like he was making 3 times that in a week. So I really wasn't tripping. But we did have a conversation soon after that, after all the drama died down, was, okay, is this something that you're going to be doing all the time? Because you might need to have a little nest egg to the side or something, but, you know, I don't want to be 800 next time. You know what I mean? So me today, I think I'd probably be kind of the same way, but I'd probably be the person to try to go ahead and, if I had it, just to go ahead and go with our plans if he wanted to. Because what I was waiting to see if nobody mentioned it. Maybe he just drained even from having to pay the $300, but he may not just feel like even going out. He may just emotionally drained, or you know what I mean, just stressed. And whether you have $300, whether you have the money or not, that's a big chunk of change.
Yeah.
And saying $300 more, I mean, did she not pay the bill a couple of months? You know. Like you said, our words matter. So I think maybe the way it was that was stated would kind of make you feel uneasy. Okay, I'd like to hear a comment because we need to hear that one. If y'all know,
so your mama, that's it.
Yeah, mama, little man.
I'm with you to say yes. Let me holler at your mama. Yeah.
See, I think is that really if you think about a single mother with a 15-year-old son, do y'all think that's really none of his business?
Especially ain't no way I'm gonna put Adrian on the phone to call James and say mama need $300 more for a bill.
What if they don't talk?
Yeah, he probably.
Because I mean, if the lights are off, and she know he ain't gonna give it to her, or they don't, you know, to me that they must have an estranged, maybe not even an estranged situation, but the mother may use him all the time to say, "Ask your daddy." I mean, you know what I mean? I guess I'm just thinking a 15-year-old. I'm not thinking that's
every man that I've ever met that has had a son or a daughter, or had a child call asking for something on behalf of the what I need. It is more than a Happy Meal has pissed that man off, and they have felt manipulated by the mother because they put the baby on the phone. Like just in random conversations that I've had with other men, they do not like when you put that child on the phone because it makes them feel some type of way. Now I got to tell my baby, no, I ain't got it. Instead of us having an adult conversation where I could tell you, no, I didn't plan for an extra $300 to do your light bill. You know, you can have that adult conversation, but now I got to buffer my response because I'm talking to my son. So now I got to man up in front of my son and take care of his mama, because now she done put you in the man of the house situation to call me and say, hey, bro, we show. I'm gonna need $300 for that bill. Like, I mean, I have stuff wrong with it.
I do understand that. I just think 15-year-old is not. I don't know. If the lights off and they 15, you won't have to tell them the lights off. You know what I mean? That ain't. Oh, we have to.
But I also don't expect them to be the one to initiate the call to get them paid to come back on. Like that's kind of, you know, that ain't his job to put the lights back on. So,
however, in these situations, most of the time, there are situations where the child is put in the middle, but there are also situations where, like me and my son, we have the type of relationship where if something going on and it's bothering him, he's just going to tell me. And so, so it's not a question of all the time of being put in the middle. It's just that, hey, what's wrong with you? What's going on? Man, the lights are out. Okay, now we got to take care of it. So if, you know, it depends on the situation. But in this situation, like as Vanessa said, she's correct. She's like, the son knew that the lights were out. So if there is not, I don't put my child in the middle of that. That's a discussion that me and your mother need to have. And even if he does come to me and tell me that, I'm saying, okay, go do whatever you go play, whatever. I'll talk to your mom. We'll take care of it.
Call your mom. Yep.
So,
but before you move on, so was that Miss Antoinette that just played that was that fire song that we just heard before this segment?
Yeah.
Hey girl.
I think so. Yeah. We like that song, girl.
Yes. Thank you for participating. But yeah, go ahead, Wid. I'm sorry. I didn't want to forget.
No, I'm just saying I think the children should not be in the middle of it. My concern again is when I flip the question because I somewhat flipped the question. All of a sudden, the asked the question was, okay, so as the boyfriend you going to spend some money, $300, do I get the same liberty to tell you what you did, that I don't agree with your $300 purchase, or what you do with your $300 too?
You know, honestly, if we're a year in, and I don't know, I think it may even make me mad, just like me saying something to him might make him mad, but I wouldn't fly off the handle about him mentioning something about a $300 purchase, especially if it's something trivial or something like that. I just don't think I would fly off the handle. I may, say something smart back, but he should have that right too.
Because on this post there are several ladies who said they would end this relationship because of this.
But I don't think it's because of the $300 though. I think you also have to think
and the baby mama's gonna continue to be involved in their relationship. I get that part. I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's why I get that that's why I said I know people gonna like it ain't the same thing. I know that. The point is that which Courtney was trying to make in the comments was, so if he doesn't tell you and just handles it, which he could do because you're a girlfriend and not a wife, and you find out later, everybody on this post said I would break up with him because he didn't tell me up front and he was being dishonest. So he loses. But if he tells you, does the honorable thing to tell you up front, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and you're gonna end the relationship, what is he supposed to do? Besides, and what if it's a situation? If it's a situation where you can go get your child, that's fine. But they in another state. What do you know what I mean? Like it's
I understand to go get your child. I understand that comment, but to me, come on, let's just be realistic. Most of the time the mom is a custodial parent. Let's just be real. Unless the situation is reversed. But I mean, if the lights get cut off and you have it, why wouldn't you just want to get those lights back on instead of going to get having to remove your child from where he at? It's making, to me, that's just extra.
Yeah, it is. And what 15-year-old son is gonna be cool with the moms being back at the house with the lights off? Adrian would not let James come get me, come get them and leave me in the house with the lights off. He'd be like, "I'm good. I'll stay. I got her. You take the girls." You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's not realistic, to be honest. That's just not realistic, especially with the details that we were given. I think if we were discussing something like video games and tennis shoes versus purses and bundles, then that might have been a good counter question. But I think the women who were saying they may, and again, I would not have ended the relationship because of this. But we're also dealing with an average woman of 30 plus years old with a different mindset here. Then so the whole looking in foresight and I ain't got time for that. I don't want to deal with some women don't even date men with kids. So if you've gotten in on the hair of your chinny chin with a kid, she thinking you're 15, I only got 3 more years to do this active co-parenting thing, stepmama thing, and then we're gonna be able to do holidays and weekends and we good. You know what I'm saying? And then we gotta pay bills too. Like my fun is getting cut off. My daytime is getting cut off because we got to do bills now. Oh, no, bro. It's been fun. We can be friends. Lay you like a play cousin. I'll holler. You know what I mean? So, but I can't fault that woman for that. But I don't think that's a fair follow-up question to say the same thing, because I think they're thinking a different thought process when they said, "Oh no, I'm good." It wasn't a frivolous purchase. That's a livelihood purchase. Like that's a shelter purchase right there. That's different.
Quinn says that she said she did this as a kid without her mama's knowledge. She said she often called her father with quote some story to get him to send money, and I just gave it to her mom. I don't know what that was. Hold on. No. It's thunderstorming, sorry.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
Just making sure what me.
That was a thunderstorm. Sorry about that. Can I keep going some of these more of these comments? Or y'all,
yeah, okay.
Okay. Toshiba, who, by the way, I just want to say clearly, I told on the post, clearly this is personal. When I got this, I was like, let me pray for this baby because she done been through it. She said, and what we are not getting here is the actual type of baby mama we're dealing with. That's true. Is she trifling ratchet type, or is she a truly good mom that just hit a hard bump for whatever reason? That makes a difference. Yeah. Could it be her pride that allowed her to get to let the son ask because she couldn't, or is she the petty that always tells the child, ask your daddy? There's levels to this, and that's a fact. That does make a huge difference. But either way, as a man, in this situation, you still got to deal with it because your child was there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've only had one bad baby mama experience, and I probably especially don't want to have one now. But yeah, I wasn't I'm trying to take your kid stepmom. So I understand her saying which type of woman is this. But in the back of my mind, I was still thinking, even when that was said, does it matter if the lights really are off? You know, whether it's the upstanding mom or the ratchet mom. Yeah. If the lights are off, does it really matter?
Yeah.
If the lights are really off. So I can appreciate those, but I think most people the queuing Jones, the fact that the light was 300. Yeah.
No, the fact that she was 300 more. 300 more. The more got me. Yes, Kel. Yeah. The more. Yeah.
That's 300. That
ain't even out of the ordinary. That's high.
That's probably 2 bills in the extra little deposit they done added on because she done had it cut off more than once. I mean, let's not.
She missed her arrangement, and now the whole bill is due. Like that's how you think. She been trying and missed that mark, honey, and now the full balance is due. Boo.
I did have one comment. Deborah says maybe she is one of the mothers that do not ask for help, and the son did it on his own.
That's possible.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Hey, Claudia. Somebody's saying hey. Yeah. To me, I guess with me, the age of the child is what just makes, I don't know, it puts a different light on it for me. Because there could be so many moving pieces with a child that's all, that's in their teens. A 15-year-old is really grown up, and especially if they've had to, kind of help out around the house because of a single parent situation. To me, that's a really, 15-year-olds are really at the verge of being adults. So, he could have had the conversation himself, or he could have just been talking to his dad, like, hey, and it came up. The mom might even said, don't tell him, so it could have been, you don't know what the baby mom is. And it's kind of funny and also sad that we always have to put that in the conversation. Like, it could be this baby mama, or, that. Claudia also says, why would a child call about the lights being off? I mean, he may not have made the call, but he might have. I mean, we don't know that part of the situation. We just know that the couple's been dating for a year, and the dad was asked. So we really don't know anything about the personalities. I think it's a good conversation still, though.
So here's another dimension to this that I wondered, and I didn't ask this in the post, but I wondered what the percentage. Don't shoot me for saying this. Of people who were like, I wanted to see like the people, because a lot of people said stuff like the 3 basic things were, I'm breaking up with you if this is going to become a habit or is a habit. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for the date and bring them to our house. I wondered what the breakdown of age of the people who gave those comments and the relationship status of the people who made those comments. Like talking about people who have been in this situation and who have been married, who said a specific answer more than the other. Because I think being in the situation or parent, I think that makes a difference in your response, I think, for some people. So I don't know. Nisha says she's been in the situation before. Her argument was, where does it end? This might be the first time, but I guarantee you it will not be the last. It will always be something, and he will always feel obligated because it's for his kid. Can't tell a grown man what to do with his money. He can't tell me not to feel a certain way about it, but he better keep that same energy. Or Alicia says she gonna tell us what she saying. She said this post talk about some. He need to buy her something for $300. I almost deleted her comment.
I didn't see that.
I almost deleted her comment. Talk about some if he gonna pay her light bill for $300, then he better not say nothing when I show him this purse or these shoes that's $300. I'm like, what kind of insanity? What kind of insanity is this? Now because you mad,
but I want to.
You mad? You want me to buy you some shoes? I get what that Joe Biden look.
But this comment, Winfred, also under your post from Mark, he says $300 can break a person's pocket for the weekend. I can't believe some of y'all ladies are so far removed from the struggle to understand this. But has the shallow world we live in, thousands in savings is a prerequisite for a relationship, I guess. So do y'all think that has something to do with the responses? Is it society now that, it's the fact that the lady doesn't have the $300 or the fact that the man can't pay $300 and go out? Are those?
I don't even think that was addressed that much in the conversation. Our group, I don't think our demographic touched on the fact like, oh, so now you broke because you paid $300. Like it was the matter of it. We're gonna be paying this heifer's bills every month because she got the babies. Let's just bring the babies over here then, and she can do her own light bill. I think that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, we can be petty sometimes, but I think, we got on to the root of this one. Like, what is this? Is this going to be my life now? I don't want to have to pay because in all respect, like what Courtney just said on our live, he says, if I have to pay the light bill at that house every month just so my kids are straight, then so be it. A lot of men feel that way. You know what I mean? And I don't fault the man for feeling that way. That is a honorable and beautiful thought process to have for your children that by any means necessary standpoint. But as a single man, a single father, that is going to narrow your pool considerably because a lot of women and they can love you. They can love your babies. They can want to be the stepmother for your children, but there is a boundary level there that comes into play for a woman when it comes to you being willing to pay the bills in another woman's house willingly. You know what I'm saying? Because that will become a thing, and that has a possibility of becoming a thing. And God bless the woman who is A-okay with you footing the bills in your baby mama's house just because your kids are there. You know what I mean? Not court order type of thing and outside of child support situation.
I just want to first say,
but I respect it.
I hate the term baby mama. I just want to throw that out there. I hate that term. But anyway, if a baby mama, Tashiba says, if a baby mama is supposedly not paying a bill because she knows the baby daddy gonna pick up the slack, then that's not cool to me. Kudos to the daddy for being a great dad, but that's a red flag for me as a girlfriend looking at long term. That's just me. I respect that. I do.
That's very good point, Tashiba.
I respect it.
You purposely doing. That's why I said you kind of have to know the background of the situation. Mm-hmm. I think the majority of us doubt if it's the child knows, the child is asked, that $300 is going to be paid, and the girlfriend is going to be cool with it.
Yeah, I think at like I said, at that point, you've been dealing with this woman long enough to know or should know if she's being manipulative or if this is a one-time thing.
Right.
15. He's 15. So in 15, y'all have been through it already, and depending on how long you have not been together, you should know. Like, you should know what's up. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys. I knew that Hot Topic was gonna be sizzling. Remember, you can get your Curvy Kitten clothing at www.curvykittens.com. It is time for some more music. I think this is another new one.
Yep.
It's called Somebody Line. I already like the sound of that. Somebody Line by Steel Country. I'm just saying.
Hold on. Uh-oh, what did I do? There we go.
Just ain't no denying about how they be lying. There's nothing I'm crying out tearing up. They say expensive clothing when they be gearing up. And like your sinuses when they clearing up. They can finally breathe when you finally leave. And they'll finally see you couldn't expose. They couldn't handle it like a bottle of XO. They all in the past like my ex. Wonder why they got a lie to kick it. Like when you're talking to a bride, you got a lie to hit it. Like when you come up with some money, you got a lie to get it. Like when you in the studio, you got a lie to split it. You got a lie to do it. So you finally did it. Why nobody with it. But you can rest assured I'm gonna put it out there so nobody else wouldn't. Cause I'm coming do it like nobody else said. He had a video. I see he don't be in it. You must not have one of a dealing. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Say he a DJ like Calvin collabing with Snoop, man. What in them news ain't telling the truth, man? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Dude, you are the quitter. She said that you didn't, but you're going around telling folks she let you hit it. But somebody lying. Somebody lying. Heard that they speaking on me and be gossiping. Act like they don't speak on me and be gossiping. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. The reason you'll never see them with the things you ain't rapping about, because they can't afford it, boy. Just like they mortgage, so gonna ignore it. They gonna get distorted. Say they making moves. Just breaking news that it's gonna report it. These clowns, they sound like a song that's distorted. And don't come up shorter than someone that got shorted on the money. They got shorted than someone to the pay back. They said that they owed them. I can already see that they ain't nobody told them. They must have been on more crap than them all. Other they lies gonna get them anywhere in life, and they gonna get them nowhere. But why even go there? So don't even go there. If I come out of nowhere, don't see them nowhere to be found. Just take a look around and you don't see them nowhere. They like, that ain't no fair, man. It's just like a dummy. They call me still country. Now come from the country. I come from keep nothing but hundreds. You know how I done this by keeping it 100, boy. Just like the money. You know what's so funny? How they got people really believing they really be balling like them dudes in the league that be getting. The line was a law that they was enforcing, and they were just leaving like a brother divorcing. The paper they touching is the one that they forging. Name off. Out of lies y'all be telling, it's unexplainable. The truth in the book, this is instantly flammable. Got to stand outside of a virus extinguisher. When I report, my scene don't be in it. Let's not have one of a dealing. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Say he a DJ like Calvin collabing with Snoop, man. What in them dudes ain't telling the truth, man? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Dude, you are the quitter. She said that you didn't, but you're going around telling folks she let you hit it. But somebody lying. Somebody lying. Heard that they speaking on me and be gossiping. Act like they don't speak on me and be gossiping. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Got my name in their mouth from all day. Talk about him and walk out the house without him going that route. I'm on somebody's mind. Must be on somebody's mind. I am a realist, so please don't mistake it with these lies and fakers, because they just don't waste it like somebody's time. Like somebody's time. Couldn't get on if a plane that was boarding, because even Scott couldn't even see this misfortune. Boy, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. They see that I'm more than just a lyrical rhymer. You feeling these dudes? No, not even kinda. That's why I say this is just a reminder to let you know that somebody lying. But at the time they just lie and they pressing on why they want to rhyme, want to have things what they don't want to grind, looking for something that they don't want to find. That bad like a kid that doesn't want to mind the whole time they've been lying about how they and be all in their millions, get out butt hurt and be all in their feelings, talking about how they got brick stash in their ceilings. You dudes are just sad. What makes it so bad is like I quit to get mad till you Tim start flaring. They looking too good for y'all right now, like what you see Kanye wearing. I could care less if you one of the hottest, like Future. I'm honest, boy, why being modest? If that was the case, and I just go the case of a murder. This church is why murder was the case. Boy, like having been, my scene don't be in it. Let's not have one of a dealing. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Say he a DJ like Calvin collabing with Snoop, man. What in them dudes ain't telling the truth, man? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Dude, you are the quitter. She said that you didn't, but you're going around telling folks she let you hit it. But somebody lying. Somebody lying. Heard that they speaking on me and be gossiping. Act like they don't speak on me and be gossiping. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Somebody lying.
Right.
Somebody lying. Somebody lying.
Somebody lying.
Somebody lying. Okay. That was let me close this so I can see. What was it? Big Country? What was the name of it? You moved it too fast for me when.
Still country.
Somebody lying, big country. Still country.
Somebody lying.
Still country.
Okay.
Somebody lying. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Right.
All right. So it is time for us to go ahead and get into our when we know what you're gonna be listening to later on. That's rap. Is that going in the loop? Anyway, so this segment is brought to you by Elegance by Design, where healthy hair and skin is our priority, but a beautiful you is our specialty. You can get your all natural hair and skincare products at elegancebydesign.com. That is design with a Z. So tonight we've got quite a few news topics to chat about. We've got some headlines and things that we want to go ahead and get into. The first of which is one that is taking over the headlines because it is new, it is fresh, and it is one that I think shocked some folks. So Lil Nas X, and for those of you who are not familiar with the name, he is the singer of the Old Town Road song, the song that has been in the headlines for the past few weeks for multiple reasons. First, there was an issue about him being black and doing a country song, or a rapper and doing a country song, and if it was going to be accepted by the Country Music Association and all of that. Then Billy Ray Cyrus came out for your boy and said, I got you back. We're going to do this. And, came to bat for him and said his piece. And then we was all team, Lil Nas X all over again. And we gave Billy Ray an invite to the barbecue because he stood for your boy. Then he's taking over the game. We got the baby singing the songs at the little auditoriums and things. It's a big thing. Then on the very last day of Pride, Lil Nas X makes a tweet that says, some of y'all already know, some of y'all don't care, some of y'all not gonna mess with me no more. But before this month ends, I want y'all to listen closely to I'm assuming it's Closure, but it's C7OSURE is the title of the song. And when you listen to the song, I listened to the song and I'll have to listen again, or I'm gonna have to do the YouTube video where the words scroll so I can get a little more in depth of what he was trying to break down for us. But the root of it is he's saying, I'm going to be me. I'm not really worried about what the folks are saying. I'm going to do my thing. So with that, and it being the last day of Pride, this, that, and the third, we all made the connection.
Oh.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me that time.
All right, so we told that moment to come out, and the world went bananas. Okay, we have began to everybody all the bros who had gone out and was getting ready to get they oversized Wranglers ready so that they can rock with your boy are now what? It has become a hard pause across the rap game in a lot of ways regarding Lil Nas X and his coming out. There have been some people who have come out in complete support for him in the rap game, as well as other genres of music and just the LGBTQIA, no disrespect at all, community. And they have come out in support of him. But then there are the flip of that who are team, absolutely not. What is this? They think it's a gimmick. They think it's a joke. They think he was taking advantage of Pride, trying to, because his career was never really all that great in the first place. He was a one-hit wonder. This is his way of trying to make it a two-hit one. There's been all kinds of things that have been said about Lil Nas X. Very interesting story. And he's come out to say, I just came out. The song's not about anything else because we've over-sexualized the song about horses because he's decided to come out. But he's literally had to retweet again. It's literally a song about horses, y'all. Those are the types of tweets he's had to have after he's decided to come out. So, what are y'all's thoughts on the Lil Nas X recap of him coming out?
I don't know if because, my nephew's son is gay and my radar is a little different, but I was thinking that it was something a little different about him when he performed on the BET Awards. And I don't know. I felt like I saw, like I knew he was, so it really wasn't that big a surprise to me. But I don't know. Now in today's day and age, especially the younger generation, they really have an understanding of how to promote things with some type of news. So wait till the last day of Pride. I mean, it could have been a simple homage, paying homage to it. Like, I'm gonna, come out during this time, because this is our time for their celebration. But I guess it really wasn't as big a deal as to me, because I felt like I was already kind of thinking that. I was just waiting. I would have never guessed it would have been like how it, turned out to be that big and everything. But I don't know. Something about him in that yellow suit, and he really wasn't the girl that was kind of doing the honky tonk and the twerk, and he just really wasn't into that. Like he just really wasn't into it.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't in for that part of it. No.
I definitely believe in people living their truth. Hey, and that's what the song is basically saying. The closure song is about, taking your own path and not hiding, being yourself.
Yep.
So,
being yourself. Yeah.
Hey, kudos to him. I'm sure when the song come on, I'm gonna still rock to it when it come on.
Oh, absolutely. I'm jamming.
I liked it. So,
what did you think?
Well, to be honest, up until a couple of days ago, I've never heard the song before. I'd heard the name Lil Nas X, but
Po Panda. We go.
It's not my job. Sorry. And so when I started reading through it, I thought, again, it's got to be difficult to live in, to be hiding what you feel that you are, to be hiding who you are. And so I felt like, I'm sure there was a sense of relief for him. I think I read an article, I think Irv Gotti was talking about how he thinks that hip hop is ready for this. And I don't know. I don't know. Because we hear a lot of things about stuff that happens behind the scenes in the music industry, but we typically don't hear about this being something that happens in front of the camera. So I think the hip hop community is going to be fine with it, in general, because that's just the time that we're in. I don't think anything's really going to change. I think we'll see a lot more of it now. I mean, again, I don't know the brother, so if this had been Kurt Franklin, that would have been very sure. I know Kurt Franklin, but I don't know.
Let me not say that.
There's people that it's a rapper out now. I don't know if he's made it big time, but on social media, the guy that does the bisexual raps that talks about being, there's a couple of rappers out that talk about being bisexual and openly bisexual. So I don't know. I guess it's just not that big of news to me. But
I think probably what makes it a big deal now, what I suspect is we live is typically the rap culture, the hip hop culture is very misogynistic. It's very alpha male-ish, and so typically, if you don't have experience dealing with people in that community, in the gay community, you think, the typical males, not male, but a lot of typical people think that, this must mean you're soft or something like that, which couldn't be further from the truth. And so I think there's going to have to be some re-education for some people, but I just think that, again, this is the time that we live in. And so you got to let people do them and let people journey the way they journey and figure out life the way they figure out life, and love on them is, my thing. I'm going to love on you. I don't do you do.
Yep.
What you do. Right.
And he had a really good follow-up to all of the conversation that this coming out brought about. On Monday, he did confirm the speculation with a follow-up tweet that says, and this kind of segues from what we just talked about as far as how it must feel being in this space. He says, just because I'm gay don't mean I'm not straight. Like, I loved that, because he's saying, I got me. I know who I am. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, y'all keep talking. I'm good though. Like, just because I'm gay don't mean I'm not straight. And that in itself to me spoke directly to the community of the hip hop community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm straight. You know what I mean? I said what I said, and here we are. And I really appreciated that from his perspective. And I think if he stays true to who he is, which it looks like he is, he's going to be fine. He's young, you know, and he will be accepted by his base. You know what I mean? He's not making music for the people who don't accept. You know what I'm saying? You don't like the demo that is not accepting of the music that he's making and the barriers that he's breaking in his industry. He's not making music for them anyway. So the people that he's making music for will support him. And if he's meant to be here, he's going to be here. This coming out ain't going to change that, in my opinion. All right. So we got more news next. Let me pull up that window because I have my little... What is next? Is Wendy next? I think Wendy is next.
Go for it.
We can do Wendy. Y'all know Wendy.
Okay.
Wendy's still my girl. I'm still kind of lightweight rocking Wendy. Wendy one of the homies I have to only chill with on certain days.
I'm sick of Wendy. Wendy can go somewhere. Wendy had me when she did the topsy-turvy and the Statue of Liberty because I thought we went hard on Wendy, but even then, Wendy gets on my nerves. Okay, so Wendy Williams is back in the news. But more or less, her son is back in the news. When don't do me. You know how I feel about your girl. You reap what you sow. Karma is a bitch with a long, draggy tail. Okay, long, dirty, draggy tail. She comes for you. And here we are. So Wendy Williams' son is actually in the news this go round, and he is in the news because he and his father, which is Wendy Williams' future ex-husband. Because he confronted him about his request for alimony payments. Mm-hmm. Son is not happy with Pops for asking moms for money on a regular after you done knocked up the side chick. So when son confronted Pops about the situation, they get into it because Pops decides to put baby Williams in a chokehold, and because he is a grown man now, that is a big boy. Like he is not a little boy to be chokeholding. He punched Pops in the face and was arrested for assault. So they were in the courthouse because baby boy was arrested on the assault for confronting the father for the alimony payments. Not shocked. I wondered how this was going to play out with them having a grown son and the side baby down the street and you parlaying on the beach and taking pictures on the gram. I wondered what this son was feeling deep down in his soul. And now we know. And now we know. So what do you say as a son, as a father? What do you say to this?
So when I read it, my initial thought was me and Senior have had our tussles in the day. So, you know, it didn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Like he and I have, he's gotten me a couple of times and I've gotten him, you know what I mean? So to me, it's an absolute normal thing. I think this just more speaks to the time that we're in more than anything else, because there was a time where you see a father and son going at it and you would let the father and son go at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that big of a deal. Whereas now when we see something like that, it's the young man who went to jail. Mm-hmm. The young man went to jail and got arrested. So I think that is definitely something they definitely need to address, because clearly Lil Kevin got some animosity against Big Kevin.
Yeah.
And so they need, but that's normal. That's even if they were married, this was, still together and he hadn't gotten the side chick pregnant and posing pictures on the beach with the side chick, because I'm sure just like this wasn't new to him either. It's what it is. You know what I mean? Like when you at that age, we always growing up, my father would always say, when you get to a certain age, you always want to try to prove yourself to see who's the bull, bigger bull, and there could only be one bull, and it's either going to be me or it's going to be you. And
so he's 18. I had to find his age through this because I did see one of the one of the comments from Queuing, who said that he's still a child and shouldn't be in grown folks' business. And so I wanted to confirm exactly how old he was. I knew he was over 18, at least 18, because he was arrested for this. But I think this kind of threshold's a little bit different than the previous conversation, because the previous conversation, I think we can kind of preface in regular people terms.
Yeah. This
child is not a regular child per se, and has not been brought up in regular child situations. He's also not fielding child interactions because his parents are now famous. His mother's famous. We talk about his mama left and right because of the role that she plays. And now his daddy has then put himself in a position of a somewhat celebrity, because now you out here doing my mama bad. And at the root of it all, that's still his mother, no matter what we feel about her. And now you got us out here looking crazy, and my mom's all drunk all over the countryside and falling all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's now looking at this as a son and a grown man. And now I'm answering questions that I shouldn't, because I am a child. And now I got problems with you. Like, we got beef now. So speaking to what you said as far as how fathers and sons used to fight, that was a rite of passage. That was natural. Like, hey, bro, like, we want to catch me outside and we can have dinner. We can have a beer later, but we got a problem, Pops. And, you know, that I think that's kind of how it was. And because it is so celebrity, here he is in jail, you know, arrested, and we got to do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I had a comment. Alyssa says that she said, "Just wow, Dad is all the way wrong for instigating that and then pressing charges." I think the store called the police.
Yeah, I think they had to. Yeah, I think the state press charges.
Both the mom, both Wendy and her husband are in court to try to get the charges dropped. So I don't know if they're. I don't remember if the article said that the state picked it up or anything like that. I just know that they were fighting to try to get the charges dropped. So I don't think that actually did that. I do think it's a different dynamic. I mean, when you have to think, that was good to me. That was good. That was coming.
I had to know. Yeah.
He probably been pissed off at his father. I'm sure he's been mad.
Yes. And now he big enough where he feel like he can take him. I mean, again, as a 18-year-old young man, I remember times where I would tell my dad, like, if you ever hurt my mama, I'm gonna get with you. Like, that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Normal.
But
so
Dad had him in the chokehold though, so they was doing some serious tussling. That's what Dad had him in the chokehold, and he said he punched him to get him off of him. So it wasn't like he just had I don't think he had a tantrum or anything like we're thinking. But Dad had him in the chokehold, and it said he punched him to get him out the chokehold. So they had a tussle, and probably alarmed the little lady behind the glass at the gas station and got scared.
Because the police are who charged him. You're right. The West Orange police is who charged him, not the daddy or anybody else. They saw an assault, and I guess they said, well, yeah, we're going ahead and come on down with it. Yeah.
The last fight me and my father had was, we got into it. I don't remember what we got into it about, but we were wrestling, and I Goldberg speared him. Ooh.
I just could not imagine virus wrestling or tussling.
Yeah. I speared him, and he was like, okay, quit playing. And that was, I mean, it is no, but this was, but I mean, I might have got him that one time, but trust me, he got me probably 50 times before that. But after that, it was like, okay, I'm gonna leave him alone. This is just normal. It's absolutely normal for a father and son.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy. I think it's somewhat healthy. So, because as a father, you need to know your son can handle himself.
I don't know if my brother ever had. I don't remember them ever having that situation. I remember them having exchanging words one time, but if they ever had a tussle, I didn't see the tussle. I remember them exchanging some words one time, and I mean, I was little. I had to be like, before we moved to our new house, it was the old house. So I had to be like 5 or 6, and I would remember an argument. But never a fight. Now
my brother had several altercations between my mother and my father. Both my parents had to get with my brother.
That's right. Now, yeah, I see my sisters beat some nephews and some siblings fight, but yeah, that's funny. But yeah, hey, it happens. I hope they can get.
Will said him and his father had 2 or 3 good fights. He has money and resources for whatever therapy or financial resolution he needs. He has a good chance to be just fine. He is more so embarrassed, in my opinion, if anything.
Mm-hmm. I think they can.
Like I said, they'll be fine. I mean, I think the father has to stop making dumb moves. You know? Ultimately, if you're gonna keep disrespecting my mother, we're not gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Not when you keep doing this. Yeah. You show no remorse, and then you being bold, like you want money, bro. Like you want money.
Yeah.
I'm with Kendu on Kendu. I'm kidding. Just kidding.
The daughter might have stolen the pop. How they going on?
Yeah, like I don't see this working out for many kids at all at this point with social media. You know what I mean, and the fact that it's a play-by-play, and it just doesn't. I just can't see this working out. Regular kids would have issue with this, just like the local town people knowing that something like this was going on. So to have the world speculating it, like your mama and daddy have headline news with the side chick and your baby sister, and not like that's a bit much. That's a bit much. Yeah. Okay. So thoughts and prayers for the Williams folks, for them. Okay. Next. Moving on. We are going to now chat about a really neat article that Wim found to cover our warm and fuzzies for this week, talking about relationships and readiness for relationships when partners are ready for a committed relationship. So this was a study that was done basically checking for indications or indicators that people are compatible, or at the very basic level, compatible in the sense that they are ready for a relationship. Okay. So I liked that. Oh, we do. Lord. Kels, thank you.
Keep going, because my computer. Keep going. Y'all keep going for a minute, because I don't know.
Okay. And I'll wrap this up because, yeah. Okay. So this particular article was talking about how there has been a study done where people are basically we're asking, like, how ready are you to be in a commitment overall? They're asking whether the individual generally felt ready to be in a committed relationship, if they were open to such commitments, considering all of the factors in life that were present, whether if the timing was right, basically life situations and the desire to be in a relationship, and do these things always align? So it was, they did different studies, and they had 4 different studies. One of which was the researchers found that relationship readiness predicted an individual's level of self-disclosure in a relationship. The more an individual was ready for a commitment, the more they shared about themselves with the partner. Also, if they were already invested in a relationship that was satisfying, they were more likely to be accommodating to their partner and their individuals than individuals who were less ready for commitment. To nutshell this particular article, because a lot of the studies, and I haven't shared this with Wynn and Kels, but I found a lot of this to be somewhat redundant because it repeated a lot of the same things. If these 2 people are ready for a relationship, then yes, it's going to be a successful relationship. If you are with people who are not ready for a relationship, meaning they just desire to be with someone, but they haven't set their life and they're not acting like they're ready, they're not putting, their life in place as far as making time for a relationship and things like that, it's not going to work. To me, that was like duh. You know what I mean? That's part of the problem. We've got some people who are playing ready and some people who are prepared and ready, mixing and mingling, and that's causing us to have some topsy-turvy issues with relationships. So that's kind of what I got from that article. It kind of stated a lot of what we already knew. Since this is something that you found, did you find, actually, pause. Kels, what did you think after you read this one? Because I want to, Wynn is going to nutshell it for us. Tell me what you thought about this article.
I really didn't read the whole article, probably because after a couple of, I guess, paragraphs in or sentences in, I could kind of see where it was going. So that was that was it. And I was like, and I don't know, for this week has been the week of people questioning relationships. And we all know everything is connected. I don't know if you remember seeing the article about the Black women and having problems with getting married. And
I did.
And so I guess when I saw some of that, I was still kind of in that kind of mode. And so some of the things, that's one of the things I have turned off, and I don't think I have shared with anybody, is all of the relationship should and should not things. I just feel like it's so overwhelming, especially when you're having issues with dating or not having any success. And so I like when it started kind of seeming redundant or stuff like the things we've already heard, I just kind of tuned out.
Gotcha. I got you.
I was sure. I like the way it started off when it said study. So it's more than just some emotional rant of some random person on Facebook or Instagram Live. It's more than that. But a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but what I have found recently in dating, and even I could probably say even just being honest or transparent with myself, is that a lot of people are a committed relationship. Like they're not even remotely ready. They just want to be with somebody. So that is a very good point. In a place where I'm just thinking people really need to get back to studying themselves and what's wrong with us. Like we really have to be serious about that and be really honest with our issues with relationships, all kind of relationships.
Totally agree.
So I think it's more on self, but it just seemed like the last week or so has just been really relationship driven conversation.
Yes, agreed. Wynn, what about you? What brought you to this article and why? What made you share it with us?
I think that was the first thing that made me share it. Y'all can hear me? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can now.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing that we really need to do a study on this. In my mind, I thought if you don't want to be in a relationship, like we got to do a study to say that people who want to be in a relationship are usually better at relationships and want to maintain. Like if you don't want to, and then the more I read and thought through it, I realized, that a lot of times there are a lot of people who are in relationships for other reasons, like convenience, like help, like they don't want the stigma of being, especially as a young lady. I know there's a stigma if you're as a young lady if you're single. Past a certain age, then it's becomes especially in our culture. Oh, you over 30 ain't got.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like, I started hearing something.
Yeah. But I think I know where Wynn was going with that, and I would agree that I think out of all of the article points that were made, I think the second one was the one that made the most sense to me. Are you both acting like someone interested in a commitment? If you are currently in a relationship of some kind, then it can also be important to consider how you are actually behaving toward one another. Generally, individuals who are ready for a commitment tend to behave in ways that are more open toward their partner that enhances the relationship. Specifically, they share more about themselves to increase intimacy. They may also show more gratitude, which encourages additional positive behaviors. Taken together, these types of behaviors tend to build trust and make the relationship feel special. So therefore, if you want a committed relationship, behave like you want one. Like, to me, that was the nutshell of the entire article for me. Like, if you want to be in a relationship, you have to take the actions to actually be in the relationship. You know, stop playing around and do the damn thing. So I I agree with Wynn and wondering, like, do we really need a study to say find your folks? Like, find your folks and stick with your people. So yeah, it was a good read, but it was one that I thought,
A little.
okay. Yeah. It was definitely a okay kind of moment. Yep. So that is what I think. That's all we had on that. When did you? I know we lost you at the end there. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share with us real quick before we?
What y'all heard is fine.
Okay.
Hope y'all good.
All right. Well, so we're gonna go ahead and slide on into that segment. Was brought to you by Elegance by Design, where healthy hair and skin is our priority, but a beautiful you is always our specialty. This next segment is brought to you by Sass and Sage, and I actually have a little additional tagline because it's also brought to you by Elegance by Design. So, but this is where we don't water down womanhood. Sass and Sage is something that, to give y'all a little background, that has been kind of on my heart for a long time. And when Wynn said, yep, it's your time, sis, to come up with something to share with the people, this was like the no-brainer for me. So not watering down womanhood and relationships has been one of the main, I feel, purposes and missions of myself going forward. And I love the fact, and I kind of want to thank the Scoop and Wynn and Kels for giving me this platform to do this, because it's allowed me to find a different type of voice. And I love sharing with you guys. So this was the Sass and Sage that I had prepared for last week. And it is a follow-up of our conversation that we had talking about motherhood and toxic motherhood and some of the challenges that we face overall raising these babies and loving on these babies and being the best type of parent that we can. So this particular episode is called Experience, the Best Teacher Without a Lesson Plan. And again, I want to tell y'all that this was in recap of last week's show on toxic motherhood. All right. So last week we had an amazing conversation around motherhood that got me thinking. This job, this honor, this gift of being called mommy is one that many of us hope, pray, and plan for from the time we are little bitty girls playing with our very own babies. At this stage of life, we are compassionate, understanding, cool, but stern, all-knowing even. Man, to be 8 again with my Cabbage Patch baby, Renee. Y'all remember Cabbage Patch Kids. Child, adolescent motherhood was lit. She didn't ask for nothing I couldn't provide immediately. No request was too big, no detail too small in our little world. If only I knew. If only I knew. And we knew then that as we round the corner of adolescence into young adulthood, things were much more involved than providing snacks on demand and imaginary unicorns for Mattel-given birthdays by those little birth certificates tucked in the box. It's at this stage we generally begin to pay much more attention to the conversations and interactions with and of adults. After all, it's so close. 18 is right there. We become sponges and private eyes on the hunt for all the information on how to adult. And parenting, for a lot of us, is way up there on the list. Why it's at the top of that list is where the plot may begin to twist for a lot of us. This is where experience comes into play and begins to shape our perspectives on what it means to teach, give love to, provide for, and overall guide your real life Cabbage Patch baby. This is the age where we begin to really think for ourselves and form real opinions around our wants and desires. Studies have shown that the ages of 6 to 14 are when children establish patterns of identity as people. This is also the time where we begin to pick our parents apart for the good and not so good things we've seen as they raised us. We may write down in our diaries about how we will never do this thing or never do that thing, how you can't believe that they said no to the simplest requests. The simplest requests. You see your parents sharing love and declare to yourself, my husband is going to love me just like my daddy loves my mama. And he's going to give me everything I want because I'm a princess. Or something, or sometimes it's much deeper, like, I will never stay with a man who does that to me. Why won't she just go already? Or, why does my dad let her talk to him like that? My woman ain't ever gonna talk to me like that. We know the examples are endless where the imagination of children and the experiences of their parents are concerned. I pair these two vastly different perspectives this way because they often run parallel to the other, causing a bit of a blurred vision for a spell that can often cause the delusion we endure in early and unfortunately sometimes late into adulthood. Trauma is a word that has been getting a lot of play lately in the press, and in a lot of ways it's good, and I get it. We need to talk about it. This word is deep in the sense that it quickly conveys the depth of an experience and automatically indicates long-term effects that require correction and healing. Many of us have experienced mutual trauma alongside our parents, specifically mothers tonight, that have had to adjust to how we do life and love our children. Some of us have experienced abuse, neglect, addiction, abandonment, manipulation, and a gamut of other indescribable things that leave us feeling broken long before we've even gathered the pieces of our personal puzzles. We were left to grapple with the confusion and misunderstandings of children, processing things that were way too big for our short times here on earth. Many of us have dealt with feelings of inadequacy, being left with what feels like no room to breathe, leaving you with the need to just get out. And as adults, we may battle with the urge to repeat what we went through with our own children and hate ourselves for it, but have no real way to fix it. We were never taught how to fix it. Or you want nothing to do with that thinking, so you overcompensate and are still miserable because you know that that's not quite right either. It's rough out here, looking back at a many you. Trust me, I know. I won't take a lot more time going down the deep rabbit hole of pain a child can go through because, after all, we're here. We made it. And in one way or another, on one level or another, we all know what this feels like. What I really want to get into is how we can assess and adjust our traumas to do better and be better. So, of course, I came up with 3 little tips from one mommy to another to help us love our babies a little bit better. Number 1, mom was once a young woman too, like you. It's really hard to grasp this in the midst of childhood, especially when she goes out of her way to remind you often how she's not one of y'all little friends and she's grown. So the connection to the thought that mommy was maybe once just Tina is beyond you, but she was, and in there, and after she's doing all her duties, she still is. This is something I didn't really understand until I was almost 30 years old and with all 3 of my babies all the way here, having grown woman conversations with my very own mother. It was then that I was able to compare her experiences and choices to those that I've made in my own life. It allowed me a little more space to give her grace that was once removed, because being real, she was figuring it out without a blueprint, just like I was or am. Number 2, your experiences help to shape you, but they don't make you. I don't want anyone to hear or read these words later and think for a moment that I am attempting to tell you to get over anything that has caused you pain. I know every mother wasn't Claire Huxtable or Aunt Viv. Like, I know that. I'm saying you don't have to let it win. You have been made it this far to say, I'm good, love, enjoy on life. You are able to take today and make it the very first day of your very best life. I encourage you to own your experiences and reach out to someone who can give you the support you need to get the healing you need so you can be better than what tried to break you. As one of my besties in my brain, Sarah Jakes Roberts, reminded me of here recently in Genesis 3:15, loosely says, bruised heels still crush serpents' heads, which to me says, you still got this, baby. Bruised heels, trauma, brokenness, and all, you can and will still win. So don't give up. You got this. Number 3, last one. Each one teach one to be better. I know it's very cliche, but it still qualifies in context. I am a believer that you can transform a trauma into a triumph. We do not have to allow the L to be our last go at a thing. And for many of us, we get that second try with our very own seeds. We take those moments of lack we may have experienced but tucked away and allow them to fuel us along the path for our own, making it a bit easier to recall the feelings of not being able to relate to your mom and take those steps to relate. You give that grace to grow. You share with them that sometimes you just don't know, and it's okay, because together you'll get it and you'll get through it. It's those moments that reassure that it wasn't in vain that you are breaking a cycle for a smoother ride for you and your babies. We owe them healing and whole mothers. It isn't easy, it's hard, and leaves us naked on the pedestals we built for ourselves out of rank among them as children. But at the root of all that rank, we are all human first. Even the children need to know that big humans mess up. We own up and then we get up. There's no roadmap to this. Lots of reroutes and detours along this journey. But what I have figured out, and that I'm hoping that you all have figured out, that it's always so much better when we take this journey together. So that concludes Fast and Sage for this evening. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, or if you want the hard copy of that. It's kind of long, so let me know and I'll get it to you. Thank y'all.
Go ahead and preach, man. She threw a couple of Bible verses. She threw a Bible verse. I was like, what an offering.
But you know what? That is one of my favorite. If y'all follow Sarah Jakes Roberts, she has a sermon she speaks about that particular verse often. And it's one that she uses for her Woman Evolved. And it is something that is so true. And to hear her speak about it will literally give you goosebumps, because it is so relatable to how we as women are so hard on ourselves and will allow something that we feel has just torn us down from whatever spaces we were given. And we don't get to fill those spaces anymore. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of us, motherhood is one of those spaces. And I think and it stood out to me immediately as I was writing this, like, this is one of those bruised heels, crushed serpent's heads type situations. You know what I mean? Like, you can still be better than what you experienced, and so yeah, check it out. I'll see if I can find it. She references it in many of her videos, but she's the truth. And this one really connected for me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Sincerely.
Nice. Very good. Very good. All right, I guess it's time to wind this show down.
Yeah.
This show, good job. Good job. Kels, I guess we're going to let you go ahead and kick it off. What you got going on? What's up for Kirby?
Yeah, good show. Nothing really new yet with Kirby Kitten. Still got the new items that came out this summer. Don't forget, if you go to the website and you type in KK Love, I forgot to say that during the Hot Topic segment, that you get a 10% discount. So that's capital K, capital K, L-U-V. Is that it? Yeah. And all. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. If you celebrate the 4th, enjoy the 4th. I celebrate Juneteenth and the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And so what? So y'all have a good 4th. Pop some fireworks. Lose some fireworks and firecrackers. Fireworks and
don't get a ticket. Go to the country.
Yeah, I'll be in the country, so
don't drive the dog's crazy family. Like, don't do that.
Respect
that, please.
Don't be shooting folks with the Roman candles.
But no, on another note, like, for real though, don't the dogs have issues with the fireworks in the city? You know, we always laugh about that or whatever. You say, forget that law. But that, I think that's around for a real reason. Like, I live out in Dale City, and I live right around the corner from Tinker. And I know I live in a neighborhood full of vets. And there's a neighborhood right behind ours that has been popping fireworks for the last 2 weeks. And I can only imagine what my neighbors close to me are going through, hearing gunshots and fireworks randomly going off a few streets over. So while it's fun, Spencer ain't that far. You can hop, skip, and jump on down the highway and get somewhere where it's legal and it's far enough away where people know what's going on and it doesn't cause those emotional stressors for those folks who have put their mental states on the line to take care of us here back at home, because that is a real thing. It's a real thing. Yeah.
Anything going on with Elegance by Design?
Yes, actually. I am getting ready to get back out there in vendings a little bit more this year. I haven't I see you. Don't do me win. Don't do my wiggle. But I'm excited if you can't tell. I'm excited. So Elegance by Design is on the move again this year, and it is starting on July 13th. I will be pairing up with Liz Bates, who is a beautiful soul, glowing soul here in Oklahoma City. She is the owner of Malongo Soaps and More. I met her recently at Trappy Hour at Ice Event Center. And I'm not partnering with her, but she has invited me to be a vendor at one of her networking events that's coming up on July 13th. I believe the location is Dunlap Cotting. This was originally a Sparty event, but we have then rebranded it to a networking event because we got so much business happening here in the city. We need everybody to get together and start networking and seeing each other and sharing our goods and services. So from 1 to 7 on July 13th, I will be Elegance by Design will be at Dunlap Cotting. God, I keep messing that name up. I'm gonna get it together. It is coding. Okay, I think that extra D throws me every time. But we will be there, and it is going to be a beautiful event. So look for the sharing of the post of that. I'm waiting on the new flyer to come out, but it is going to be bomb.com. Come see us. That's what I got. Wiggle out.
Lord help us. So a couple of things. Of course, obviously, we want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight and who commented. Thank you for your participation, for your thoughts, for your shares. I appreciate you. For everybody, if this is your first time listening, welcome to this family. Tune in every day for a new show. Make sure you like the Scoop Nation, Scoop Facebook. No, don't go to Scoop Nation.
Lord. We're going to use you on Scoop Nation.
Y'all know the Scoop Nation too. But the Scoop Radio Show Facebook page and so that way you see all of our shows. And if you click the link on there, it'll sign you up to be on our email list. So that way, again, all of the show links get emailed to you as well. So that. Second, if you are an artist, again, you heard 2 and you're about to hear 3 new songs tonight. So we want to play your music. So you can email us if you are an artist, independent artist, email it to us at globaldriveradio@gmail.com, and we will play your song on our show several times. And so that's a great opportunity to get your music out there. So definitely send it to us, all genres. Send it to globaldriveradio@gmail.com. Also, again, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. This is the last week to register for the Level Up Conference. Again, it is the conference that you want to be up to help you level up in the areas of faith, family, and finance. So any areas, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you want to move up in the corporate ladder, whether you're single, you're married, divorced, whether you're a business leader or you are a community leader, we have classes for you. And we've got Richmond Punch, who is a world-acclaimed violinist who's going to be with us to entertain us. Vendors, we got the whole 9. So you want to, again, get your ticket today at www.levelupchicago.com. Tomorrow, there will be no Word on Wednesday. So you can listen to last week's show. You need to hear Pastor Burns' voice. But actually, last week, if you missed last week's show, I would definitely go back. So he's doing his summer series, which is he asked questions, people to give him what topics they wanted, and they wanted to know about what the Bible and the church has to say about suicide. And so he did his first teaching on that last week. So it was a very good lesson. So I'll share it again, but definitely you can check that out. If you have a business or you have a product or service that you want advertised, we would love to partner with you to advertise that. You can see myself, and we will definitely work out a opportunity for you to advertise on the show, on our social page, and across all of our other platforms. So holla at your boy. You can either email me at globaldriveradio@gmail.com, or you can, if you're friends with me on Facebook, or if you're friends with us on the Scoop Radio Show page, just email us.
Yep.
Holla at us. We got you. All right? We got you. Other than that, good show tonight. Everything was on point. I appreciate you all as always. The thing that I look for the most, I don't look for necessarily number of people who views, but I look at comments. So I think the more comments we have, the better. So when I see people talking and responding and engaging, that makes me feel wonderful. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. So you got a lot of comments tonight, so that was cool. Other than that, we got one more new song that we're going to play out. Usually we play Goodbye, but since we skipped over a song, we're going to do that. This one is by my good friend who just released his album, Walter Ray Hudson. It's called Everyday Praise. And so I'm very proud of him. I got a chance to be the host of his album release party a couple of weeks ago. But this is his new song called Everyday Praise. We're going to go out to that, and we're going to be back next week. Y'all have a good rest of your week. Y'all know, again, that you have a purpose. You have a destiny. There was something that you were put on this earth to do, and I implore you to don't waste a day doing anything that you were put on earth to do. Don't worry about fear. Don't worry about what you don't have. Don't worry about what you don't think you can do, but live every day going towards your purpose and going towards your destiny. And I can promise you, you will never live a day that is not fulfilled. So y'all have a good rest of your week. Have a good night. We love y'all. Q, Kills, y'all know I love you. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good rest of your week. Let's go ahead and get out of here with Everyday Praise by Walter Ray Hudson.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I will exalt you, Lord. Praise your holy name forevermore. Every single day, the mercy and new grace you deserve. Praise. My mother told me that you were the only, there's no other worthy. She said you're mighty, glorious splendor of your majesty. All will see everyday praise. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
I'm still bopping to what I'm thinking should be the beat. I'm like, okay, what happened? Win is froze too.
Am I froze?
No, Win is.
Yeah.
Which is rare that he gets frozen and we don't. Like, how does that happen?
That's yeah, that pose though. So I don't know. We should just stop. Woo.
Oh, baby.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah. If you guys are still watching, it is 10 o'clock, and we hope you enjoy. You have a good evening. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Enjoy your holiday.
Sure.